Because some clients will they're like, I want an open house. Well, this is more pre-COVID. I want an open house every weekend. It's like, yeah, that's great for me because I will get leads off of the open house because most of the people are probably not going to buy your home unless they're already pre-qualified. They're going to buy something else. I don't know. How do you deal with that question? I'm Toni Singh.
And I'm Jenny Woon.
Today's topic should be a fun one.
Ooh, juicy.
We're doing it a bit on the fly as well. So let's get started. Today's topic is things realtors would love to tell their clients, but they don't.
But I don't. You do.
I totally do. And let's get into it. And we'll elaborate.
And sometimes we're wondering, how can you not know about this?
Right.
But I mean, our lives are very different from like a typical 9 to 5.
Very different. So it makes sense. If they're not exposed to the world, they're not going to know. But number one is we make less money than you think.
I want to rephrase it because, I mean, it's a very lucrative business. Okay. But I also think people are not aware of how many expenses we actually have.
Yeah.
Like upfront cost that we're just like handing it over every month, like marketing cost, lead gen cost, technology cost, desk fees, board fees.
Commission splits with the brokerage.
Taxes, insurance coverage, gas.
Well, how much are your annual expenses? Approximate. Just approximately.
I haven't done my taxes.
Well, last year.
Remember?
Yeah. So I recently learned about Jenny that she doesn't file her taxes on time.
I file my taxes and I also pay my installments way in advance.
I know you did say that.
So I'm just saying just give me a break.
So 50, 60,000 at least?
Minimum, yes.
Yes. That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means that if you want to make a living, you'd best be making much higher than that because deduct 50, 60K, what's left?
We're not, okay. The thing is that, you know what? Connie Buna came on the show, save a penny, spend a penny, something to that saying. So what she's saying is don't spend money that you don't have. Okay. So obviously my business 18 years in, our costs are about, I'd say 1 to 1.5% of our revenue. So what I'm saying is like, you don't have to spend that amount to get started. We just have a lot of marketing costs and I provide a lot of tools and stuff for my team.
Yeah. I think the way that I'd like to phrase this more directly is most realtors are poor. Not all realtors are poor. There's only 10% of the real estate community in BC that really produce anything, right? Out of how many agents now? 14,000?
Close to
something like that.
14, 15,000.
Okay. So most of the realtors are poor. The top producing ones hopefully are not.
A lot of them have second jobs.
Which means that you are not a top producer in real estate and you don't do it every day.
Right. And if it's their second job, don't hire them. Hire full-time realtors.
Yeah. Second one. Go ahead.
Second one is home ownership isn't for everyone.
That is so true. Why don't you elaborate a little bit more on that?
What that means is that if you are not willing to take on that responsibility of upkeeping, regular maintenance, like cleaning your gutters, washing the windows, taking care of your lawn, paying the taxes, paying for high property taxes and utilities, perhaps you did not budget for the right amount of expenses that come with the home.
Exactly. So basically, any type of home ownership comes with costs. It's expensive. And I know some people that there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for them. They're lifetime tenants because they prefer to rent and not have the headache of additional costs. I mean, that being said, though, if you yourself are not wanting to take on those costs, the only negative thing would be that you're not building your equity. You are building somebody else's.
Right. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Next one.
This is a huge one for me. When people call, or I'm always asking them, are you working with a realtor? And their reply back to me is, well, I'm working with a few. I haven't decided on who to use yet.
It's ridiculous.
Or their answer to me is, I'm going to see a home first before bothering my client, but bothering my realtor. We don't, as realtors, we do not want to hear that.
I'll tell you this much, and I posted about this on my personal channel or work channel for real estate at Real Estate with Real People. When buyers contact me directly on my listings, I can immediately tell if they're qualified or not and how flaky they are. So for my buying clients, we always say to them, if you want to look at something, run it through us first, because it will allow us to guide you. So yeah, stop talking to other realtors. Also, a lot of buyers will talk to other realtors thinking that they're going to get a better deal. Most of the time, they give all of their bargaining position away.
Correct.
Like within 30 seconds.
So what I tell my clients if they're walking into an open house on their own without letting me know first, I always advise them, put on the poker face, like don't give any information away about your situation, about your motivations, about where you live, about how long you've been looking for, whether or not you even like the home.
That's right. And it's so hard for some people to do because negotiations don't come naturally to them.
Mm-hmm.
They walk in a home, there's a conversation that happens and like, oh yeah, before you know it, we're moving from the West End and we want to move down. We want to downsize. So we're going to buy a little bit further out, a little bit too expensive, and we can only afford X amount. It's like, hello.
You might as well.
You might as well have given everything away. And in doing so, you've given away your leverage. Next point.
You're not going to find the home that will tick all the boxes.
No, you just said that nicer. You're not likely going to find your dream home. And so this is a funny topic though, right? I mean, the general discussion for today, these are things that we would apparently love to tell our clients, but we don't. I will tell clients this. Mm-hmm. Like, so for example, if I have a buyer and they have a distinct wish list and their budget does not support that wish list, I will tell them straight up, unless we can have a little bit of flexibility in terms of what you actually want, or you can increase the budget, then this will not happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no point dancing around it.
So I kind of put it in a nicer way. My approach is more like, my budget's $600,000 when I'm selling $1.3 million homes. My reply back to them would be like, oh, you know what? Maybe you can find a place in a nice 1-bedroom condo in Coquitlam. So I kind of like redirect them
I don't not work
way
with
without
them, but
really telling them that you actually cannot afford to buy in Kitsilano.
Does that benefit your clients taking that nicer approach?
Oh, it's not. It's just to random clients that are reaching out for more information.
Okay.
My buyers are well educated.
I was going to say, I don't feel like you would have that conversation in that way with your buyers.
No.
Okay.
So even next point is what we would love to tell our realtors. Next point is what we would love to tell our clients is that even if you're securing a mortgage, you still need to have cash available.
Yeah. And that's the next point too. Selling your home as well also requires cash. Mm-hmm. However, for our team, we do explain this to our clients upon intake, right? So that they understand specifically what is required of them to set them up for success.
So you cannot finance 100%, although you can, but your interest rates will be really, really high. And
it's dangerous.
I don't know if there's any lenders that would be.
Idea.
I don't think it's a good idea anyways for your portfolio. Because at the end, you're going to need some cash closing cost. I would say to cover your property transfer tax, to cover your legal fees, and any upfront costs that are kind of prorated before you take completion.
I mean, you guys go over that with clients too, I would imagine, right? Especially for a new client, you're going to explain these things to them beforehand so they know.
Definitely.
I love this one. And we say it all the time. Your BC assessment is not accurate. Stop comparing it to that. Do
you include it into your dialogue?
No. However, so even it's amazing to me how other realtors too, they'll be like, oh, the assess is this. I'm like, why are you saying that to me?
What if the house was a very good deal and then they put in the remarks?
Yeah, I hate that. It's 160 less than assessed
below
because it was a
assessed
year
value.
ago.
Yeah.
So for me, it just makes rational, practical sense that you wouldn't base it on something that was from a year ago. And it's not even an exact year, right? It's like sometimes they don't walk through the home. It's done electronically. So how can it be accurate? I encounter this objection directly with our clients when they ask, because sometimes if you have a look at the assessment and the value is 50K below maybe what the old assessed value is, it might be a problem. So you would have to explain that to them.
Yeah, that's often comes up in the listing presentation is, well, my assessed value is this much.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to look at the overall picture.
Yes.
Next one.
Open houses actually benefit me more than they do you. And that's true. And we do tell clients that. Because some clients they're like, I want an open house. Well, this is more pre-COVID. I want an open house every weekend. It's like, yeah, that's great for me because I will get leads off of the open house, because most of the people are probably not going to buy your home unless they're already pre-qualified. They're going to buy something else. I don't know. How do you deal with that question from clients?
I mean, I definitely feel like with COVID that has happened, open houses weren't allowed, and it brought in definitely way more qualified leads. The realtors also showed up to the appointments. And so they were more, accountable, and they were more responsible to handhold their clients through. I also felt like there was a lot less deals that fell apart.
Oh, me too. And yeah, it was great. It was great. More qualified buyers all around. So that was nice.
Yeah. So as a realtor, just to let you guys know, for our clients, it is a great opportunity for us to get in front of prospective clients, to hand out our business cards, our feature sheets,
Meet
and
the
get
community.
New business from it. And I mean, at the end of the day, we are still talking and boasting about your house, but the main priority is kind of to kind of show your house to how marketable it is and how we've presented your house to collect more business. Yeah. So one thing that I want to recommend is that once you get a pre-approval, don't quit your job. Or no, you can quit your job. You can quit your job as long as you can show proof that your income has not changed.
No, how would they show proof that the income hasn't changed if they quit their job? Passive income? They're going to qualify them on income.
No, they're going to qualify them based on the time of the application form. But let's just say, for example, right before you complete, you no longer have a job.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You no longer have a job. That's cool. That's okay, because you actually got approved already, and maybe your situation changed.
You're saying the time between a pre-approval and
the completion.
A firm contract or the completion date?
No, so the firm contract, and you're approved based on that mortgage amount, based on that one property.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you decide to like switch jobs, or maybe your income changes, or you quit, or whatever it is, that just don't do it before your application. Or you
decide to invest a portion of the money in RRSPs or something like that.
Right. And or a big car, or get yourself into debt. So just don't change your financial situation.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Okay.
Next one.
I love this one.
I haven't done it very often.
I can fire you.
Fire me. You're fired.
Like I've fired clients
You're fired
before.
clients. Okay.
I don't like to put it that way. I have kindly let clients go.
What is the real way you present it? Do you actually ghost them, or do you say, no, you know what, I'm not going to work with you anymore?
Have you met me? I'm not somebody that will not meet something head on.
Okay.
So as an example, a concrete example, I had a builder client once. It was when I was newer in the business. This person treated me like SHIT, asked me to do something unethical. I'm not going to do it. And when that happened, it was kind of like, I kindly tried to explain to this person that I could not do that my ethical and professional abilities would not allow me to do that. But I was met with a lot of anger and yelling and verbal abuse. And it was
Sorry, you had to go through that.
No, it's fine, because it was the same conversation. It was like, you know what? This is inappropriate. I'm sorry, but you're fired. Find somebody else to sell the place, and good luck. There's no other conversations to be had. So this is something, I mean, I can say this much though now, because I've been in the business for over a decade, that doesn't happen anymore. It's very rare because most of our clients are referral based and very much aligned with, our values. But before it was more common. And it's amazing to me how many realtors are afraid of letting clients go. It's like you think you're missing something. You need to hold on to that person for the deal. Well, don't, because all you're going to get is giving little pieces of your soul away along the path around the wreckage that you're going towards. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you're not going to enjoy your job as much.
Exactly.
I know that's a lot of friends, realtors of mine do keep clients that they don't enjoy working with, and you're just not going to enjoy your job as much.
Yeah. Have you had experience letting a client go before?
I have, where they would, I wouldn't say they were already on board. More than anything, I wouldn't start working with them.
Right.
So if they're immediately asking for something like a commission kickback, or for them to receive a certain dollar amount, I just wouldn't even start putting a contract together for them.
Okay.
And start working with them.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know it just wouldn't sit well with me, and I would resent working with them.
We had a client recently that we had to let go as well. So this was, again, I said it's more rare, but we had a client recently we had to let go because, well, for various reasons. So yeah, it can happen. It can happen. And I think the key here is just to be aligned with who you are and what you want to create in your business. That's what you'll attract. Next one.
That we actually have lives outside our job.
Yeah. Do you want to hear something super cool?
Sure.
So I guess this just happened. I mean, listeners, I hope you don't think I'm crazy. I'm going to share something mind-blowing with you that's been mind-blowing in my life. So recently, because you guys know, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, that I have a young family. I have a 6-year-old and a now 10-month-old at home. And I love the real estate business, and I love my clients, and I also love my family. So I asked the universe, I said, universe, please allow me to have more time with my family while still being able to help as many clients as possible, because I feel like it's impactful. Like it's really special when you're handling something for a family to make them achieve a situation where they feel they're going to be better off or well looked after. And interestingly enough, all of the clients that I've taken on over the last 2 months, this is the conversation. Oh, Toni, please let me know what day that you take off, because we're going to try not to bother you during that day.
No way.
Yes. And this is the first time in my career it's ever happened, but it's possible. That's why I'm sharing it here, everyone, in case you also would like to attract the same thing, because it's amazing.
So they just said it to you. Like you didn't say, oh, I'm going to take a day off.
No. And I'm a workaholic too. So I was like, well, I appreciate you saying, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much. And if there's something urgent that comes up, we're still going to deal with it on that day off, because you know how real estate is. You still have to deal with some things that are timely and important. So they would still be looked after. And I've been having clients buy me gifts.
What?
I'm like, you just paid me for selling your home. Why are you getting me a gift? It's so unnecessary.
I actually never have gotten a gift.
No? Okay. So point of the story is we have lives outside of our jobs. And you can attract your ideal client.
You know who, going to this episode, this statement goes back to the episode with Doris G, because she reminds me of a person who really sets her boundaries about time blocking with her kids. Yes. And she's like, no matter what, I'm always there for my kids first. And dinner at the table with them. And I don't know, I just felt like that's really empowering.
Yeah, it was
to
awesome.
have boundaries and limits like that.
And I appreciated that from Doris G too. She's so knowledgeable. Next one.
Yes. So do you ever notice how when you're trying to get a listing, they're like, well, I want to negotiate the listing fee.
So but this is the other thing that doesn't happen for me anymore.
No, that's probably because your clients are like reoccurring, or you have the same alignment value in terms of them understanding the value.
Yes,
in you,
yes.
right?
True.
But I'm just, to our listeners,
yes,
it's a common question.
Yeah. That's true. It is a common question.
So the question is, can I negotiate this fee, or can you only charge me this amount? Mm-hmm. But you do understand that we actually are natural born negotiators. Well, mm-hmm. Not everybody's a natural born negotiator, but our job is to negotiate. So we can't even negotiate our own commission. How do you think we're going to be able to negotiate for the price of your home?
Yeah, that's the most common objection handler. Mm-hmm. Goes back, spans time. And it's true. Some people need to be reminded of that. It's like, oh, okay, so you would like to negotiate the price down, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, for the commission? Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, may I share with you how that might not be in your best interest, or how that might affect you? Sure. Well, if a realtor cannot stand up to you in regards to their own worth for their commission, how well do you feel they're going to negotiate you the best possible price, terms, and conditions? It's a good thought, right? It's like, well, yeah, shoot, that is true. So if he or she bends here, are they going to bend on the price that they're trying to achieve me for highest value? Mm-hmm. Most likely, guys, yeah. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Listen to Toni. Oh, this is a good one.
Your home is most likely worth less than you think.
Oh, yeah. I hear that all the time. There's a marketing strategy behind that, though. Actually, what has really worked for me in the past few years is I give them two options. Okay. Option one is this price, and this will gain massive more attention by a percentage more. There's a possibility you're going to land at this price range. Or option two, maybe it will take a little bit more days to sell. You have less eyes on your listing, but we may achieve this price point.
True.
So based on your motivation, whether it be moving on to the next property, getting the money right away into your pocket, or you just want less people walking through your home, which option works best for you?
Yeah, I love that. That's so good.
Actually, it has worked really well for me.
It is good because ultimately the client gets to choose. We're responsible for explaining and sharing our knowledge with them. Mm-hmm. And guiding them. They still get to choose what option they want to go with 100%. Right.
So this perfect scenario, because I just listed this one a couple of weeks ago. We got an offer within the first week. So it was $649,000 for a 2-bedroom, a 3-bedroom, I think like a 30-year-old townhome. And I said, well, if we listed at $649, this is our goal, is to get this price. Okay. But if we listed at $679 or $699 or something like that, this is how many days it will take. Mm-hmm. But we're not going to, and it was over the price of what its market value was, like the second price. And so we decided to go with option one, which is $649. We ended up selling it the same price as my option two.
Yeah, that's common. That's actually very common.
So it was successful.
But although sellers normally wouldn't know that, right? Because we see that all the time. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a foreign concept, I think, to them, in fairness, right?
And finally,
can I actually say something important about the last, or it's funny. Can I just, it's funny. So it's funny that we had said, yeah, your home is more likely worth less than you think. It's amazing to me too. Like, how some realtors, when they list their property.
Own house.
It's like, whoa, man, the tables have turned. You want like way more, some of them, not all of them, right? You want way more for your home than it's worth. And it's like, okay, now you're acting like a typical seller. But Warren was going to list my home at some point because we want to move to a larger home. And I was like, what do you think it's worth? And he quoted me a price that was higher than what I thought it was worth. I was like, no, do the lesser price. Because I know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, he's just looking after you.
He wasn't wrong, but I know the strategy. So I was like, no, just give it the greatest exposure. Let's go.
Right.
Okay. And final one.
Before you commit, make sure you read through everything that you're signing and seek legal advice.
Yeah. Do you guys ever send contracts to your clients beforehand, before actually laying the signature fields, if it's done electronically?
So when we do our first meeting, we'll give them we have a buyer's binder and a listing binder.
They get it before?
They get a hard copy before. Yes. So if it's a new buyer, we'll go through all like the terms and conditions and all the clauses, all the sections in the contract of purchase and sale. And that way, and what we do is we warn them, when you find a listing or a property that you want to buy, everything's going to move pretty quickly. So we're going to go ahead and like go over this right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We do the same thing too. I just feel like the process goes a lot smoother. And of course, you want people to be knowledgeable about what they're signing on for. So why not just give them the information beforehand before they need to sign it?
Good point. Good point.
Well, that was super fun. What do you guys think as our listeners?
Well, yeah, these are things that we want to tell our clients. We do sometimes, but sometimes we bite our tongue. Don't just be authentic and remember that these are things that will authenticize or build a genuine, honest relationship.
Yeah. And if you're me, you will tell your clients these things when they come up.
So thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to follow, subscribe to our Apple Podcast, IGTV, Spotify channel, and YouTube as well. We're so enjoying this process.
At In the House Podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.